Aloha and welcome. My name is Taylor Norris, and I'm a certified quantum soul guidance, galactic astrology soul reader, as well as a Reiki master teacher. And in today's video, I will be sharing with you my mini galactic astrology soul reading for Mayari. Thank you so much for being here, for tuning in. I'm excited to dive into this mini reading with you today. So, what is galactic astrology? Well, it's a kind of different kind of astrology that's answering the most fundamental questions of our existence, of our metaphysical, physical reality. Who am I? Where do I come from? Why am I here? Why bother? Why am I doing this human thing? It's so weird. Where am I going next? We look at the soul's origin in this part of the multiverse from the point of view of the stars, the fixed stars, the various alignments between the natal chart, what was happening the moment you were born, and how everything was lined up, as well as the intuition. So tuning into soul origin, looking at your soul's connections across earthly lives, galactic lives. And the more I'm doing these readings, the more I'm seeing that it's not so much a linear thing. It's not so much a past, present, future as it is parallel and possibilities and truly multidimensional. So we look at the soul history. We do incorporate linearity because from Earth and humans' perspective, that is a useful device, but we hold it lightly. We look at the soul gifts, the talents, blessings, all of your support, your spiritual support team, spirit guides, what ET races you're connected to, who is your star soul family, other beings, other collectives. We also are able to look at the soul purpose, your evolutionary growth. So it's very practical for your life right here and now. Again, why did I incarnate? Let's make sure I'm checking the boxes, and not just checking the boxes, but doing so in a very conscious way. If I see this is the energy pattern of my soul's intentions, they can be expressed at a lower level, kind of a medium level, or very high level, and all in between the full dimensional scale. So knowing what the soul's intentions are and having greater choice in how those intentions are expressed in the most joyful, loving, blissful, awesome way possible, authentic way possible, liberating way. We discuss evolutionary growth in this life, as well as over kind of the course of the entire soul history, challenges, opportunities, guidance, and we even look at where are you headed to next. There are some ways we can look at that. So join me now as we enter in the multidimensional space between spaces, tuning in to this web of light that we are in creation, and taking a deeper look at this soul, Mayari. So how do we do this? Well, we look at the natal astrological chart. We look at the galactic charts. I also include Reiki healing when I do these readings. Reiki helps me tune in intuitively, brings the most relevant, most helpful information through, and it also does any kind of healing, empowerment, revealing work for whoever I'm reading for. The intuition and channeling is also used. The more I do these readings, the more I am actually doing the intuition and channeling part first, receiving all the information, and then pulling up the astrology charts and seeing how it is confirmed, invalidated, and expanded upon. It's pretty cool. Okay, what we have here is Mayari's basic report. Anybody can pull up one of these for free on galacticastrochart.com. You will see something like this when you enter all your birth details and click the basic report. This report shows conjunctions, so alignments that were together, 0 degrees, very close, to alignments that are opposite, 180 degrees. So seeing the circle, conjunction would be together, opposite would be exactly across from one another, what it sounds like. So looking at Mayari's basic report, we see in the left-hand column all of her planets and points, the angles in her chart, other important points that we look at in galactic astrology, what sign they are in, that is in the second column, that middle column. And then we see on the right-hand side, the various constellations that are aligned to the various planets and the points. And what we see here in Mayari's chart, my dear friend, this is what we call a busy chart. This is what we call a lot of alignments. My friend, you are indeed a star seed. There is no doubt about that. Look at all these connections. Oh my goodness. Canis Major, Canis Minor, Hyades, Taurus, Scorpius, the Galactic, Lyra, Orion, Andromeda, Piscis Austrinus, Aquila, Centaurus, and you have some repeats here. So you have multiple connections to Canis Major, Canis Minor. We see the Galactic scattered throughout, repeated. We also see Andromeda repeated. And Aquila is repeated because the nodes are exactly opposite one another. I would love to do a full reading for you. There is a lot here, and we're just going to go into a couple things in this mini reading, but there really is so much to look at in this chart. It is just so amazing, so exciting. You are a multi-galactic soul. There is no doubt about it. Now, this may look a bit more familiar to some of you who are familiar with astrology charts. This is Mayari's natal chart, and I have here some points that are highlighted with the arrows to help it become clearer what we are looking at here. And I wanted to tell for newbies, complete newbies, I made the ascendant descendant line pink so you can see what that one is. The ascendant is the constellation in the sky that was rising at the moment of your birth. And then the descendant exactly opposite. So on the right-hand side of that circle, that wheel, you see the letters DC. That's the descendant. And that's the constellation that was setting on the moment that the person was born. So ascendant is often like how we come off to other people, complete stranger. We meet them, they pick up on things. We even often like look like whatever our sign is, whatever our rising sign is. There are some actual physical characteristics. There's definitely personality characteristics. And then the descendant says more about our relationships, whereas ascendant is me, myself, I, how I appear to complete strangers. Descendant is more about our relationships, as well as how our closest friends will see us, how, our people who actually know us see this other part of us as well. So Mayari is a Scorpio rising. So she's 21 degrees, 54 minutes of the zodiac sign, Scorpio, fixed water sign. This is water that runs very, very, very deep, very intense, mysterious, mystical, magical, secretive, alluring, intuitive, emotional, very deep. Can be slow to really let others in, but once those others are in, this is a friend for life. This is a very loyal individual. And there are actually other things in the chart that would speak to that loyalty, which we'll talk about in a moment. So Scorpio rising. The sun is at 0 degrees, 52 minutes, also of the zodiac sign Scorpio. So again, fixed water, very deep, the light that shines in the darkness, especially as that sun is in the 12th house, which is a rather hidden part. You could even say the most hidden part in the chart, 12th house, 8th house, it's, close in between those two places in terms of hidden, but 12th house is very, very hidden. It's deep, it's mystical, it's the collective unconscious, it's cosmic consciousness. It's where all the Akashic records are, the soul records, all kinds of wisdom. So I'm guessing you probably need alone time to help revitalize yourself, time in your spiritual practice, time resting, rejuvenating yourself, connecting to that deep sense of oneness within yourself. Scorpio is all about union, merging, very deep intimacy. So finding that deep intimacy within yourself, within your spiritual connection, is a very healthy use of this very powerful energy, because we'll look at it more in depth in just a moment, because it has a very profound galactic alignment to it. Very profound, very exciting. So the moon is at 5 degrees, 33 minutes of Capricorn. Very different energy here. Cardinal Earth. This is the Earth energy that is an initiator, is a go-getter, is a hard worker. Now, having the moon in Capricorn, the moon is related to the sign of Cancer. That's its natural rulership, moon in Cancer. And Capricorn is the sign that's exactly opposite Cancer. So it's the polarity, whereas Capricorn is, concerned with financial security and doing a good job and work. Let's put feelings aside and just work. Be responsible. Cancer is all emotional and intuitive and like, I need comfort. I need to express myself to myself, very, very deep, very childlike, needing that inner child love and nourishment and soothing. This is what the moon, can be about. But a moon in Capricorn is like, we're gonna need to put those emotions aside. There's work to be done. There are bills to be paid. There are responsibilities I am in charge of. I am here on a mission. I am here to do a sacred service in this life. And we'll get to those feelings after the service, and maybe not even then. So this can be a tricky moon sign to have, one of the more challenging ones. So doing the emotional healing work, which I know you do, is definitely very important to make sure you are emotionally available to yourself. And the moon in the second house means you really do value that sense of comfort and security and, having like stability, a home, a place that, you have everything you need. You have your possessions, you have some money saved away, you're comfortable, you're provided for. That's going to really soothe that moon in the second house there. Above me here, I included the aspect table and the element table. And just to talk about the elements briefly, that is the 3-column table on the upper right-hand side of that diagram. And we see an emphasis there on the earth element. So we see Moon, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, part of Fortune, and her midheaven are all in an earth sign. So this is a very strong earth energy emphasis, as well as quite a bit of water, which is no surprise. We'll talk about that shortly, with Chiron, Vertex, Sun, Mercury, Pluto, Ascendant. So very strong in water as well as earth. This is someone who's intuitive and is here to manifest also. It's not just, talking about spiritual development and, emotional kind of flowy things. It's like you're actually going to do it. You're going to get it out there and create something. And that's a fabulous combination. We also see an emphasis on that cardinal energy, that initiatory energy. This is some leadership, some strong leadership. And we do see an emphasis then on fix too. So you're able to initiate, and you're also able to maintain, sustain, and actually be there and tend that structure, not just start a project and then, get bored and have to start the next one without finishing the first one. There is a sense of you will stick with it, and that's really powerful. Below that diagram, I have the 5-pointed star within the zodiac wheel, and this shows us the quintile aspect. A quintile is a 72-degree aspect between two planets, points in the chart, biquintile being 144 degrees. And in the chart itself, those are depicted with the yellow lines. You may be able to make those out. And then in the aspect table, so above me, I have pink arrows pointing to the quintiles and the biquintiles in that table. I notice there are quite a few of those. And what do those mean? Well, these are really cool aspects. So it's the 5th harmonic, which throat chakra, can we say throat chakra? Expressing yourself. Quintiles indicate a creative ability, a talent, a gift. So almost like with a magical quality, because again, they have the potential to make this 5-pointed star in the chart. So you have Moon biquintile Jupiter, Sun quintile Neptune, Uranus biquintile Jupiter, Saturn quintile Mars. Again, you're going to get it done in a magical manifestation way when those two are working together. So some significant quintiles really helping you be creative, be unique, be authentic, and evolve in a rather magical way and have a magical impact on the world. So thought I would share that with you. Okay, soul origin. Where is Mayari from? So usually we would look at the Pluto line first because it's the outermost planet. It's a dwarf planet, but it's the outermost planet that we really look at and consider. There are ones that are further out there, and one day maybe we'll be looking at alignments to those, but for the sake of this reading now, where we're at in a galactic astrology, we look at Pluto first. And Mayari did not have any alignments that showed up on the Galactic Astrochart.com calculator. However, if I were doing a full reading for her, I would look at other possible stars, because that software looks at many stars, but it doesn't look at all of them. So Pluto may be aligned to something else. Chances are it is. And then often I can psychically tune into a soul origin before even what is being presented on the chart. That's quite often the case. So, but we're looking at just the astrology here today. So she has her Uranus and Neptune both with alignments to Sirius. So Pluto being the farthest out dwarf planet, then we have Neptune. Neptune is opposite Sirius A. Okay, and then after Neptune, we also have Uranus. Uranus is opposite Sirius B. And again, I pulled these two up together because they are conjunct in the chart. Uranus is at 6 degrees, 16 minutes of Capricorn, and Neptune is at 12 degrees and 3 minutes of Capricorn. So these are conjunct. These are within an orb of conjunction. Their energies are blended. And as a result, they're also opposite Sirius A, Sirius B. Right next to me, right here, I have a picture of what these actually look like in the sky. So you can see that Sirius A is massive, like so much more massive than our sun. Lots more massive, so bright, at a completely different stage of evolution than our sun. And Sirius A, it's so bright, so massive, so powerful. Okay. And in this diagram, we actually see the sun drawn in, and it looks like a little tiny dot. Now, fun fact, if you're a nerd like me, you like studying yogic mysticism, which you might, given this lineage, Sirius A, some have theorized that the sun and Sirius A are actually a binary system and are orbiting around each other, interacting with, they're orbiting together in a pattern, not necessarily around each other, but they're linked together in a very interesting pattern. And where the sun is relation to that orbit that it's sharing with Sirius creates part of this 24,000 year cycle that results in this evolution of consciousness, these descending cycles and these ascending cycles that can be called the yugas, these different periods in history and time, with certain yugas being part of this descending cycle, ending in the Kali Yuga when it's the darkest, lowest level of consciousness as experienced by us on Earth, and then culminating, rising from Kali Yuga, ascending to Satya Yuga, the golden age, where the mainstream society on Earth is enlightened and spiritually evolved and has complete direct contact with their higher self, their divine nature. So Sirius A and Sirius B is a binary with Sirius A, and there's actually Sirius C as well. And in this system, so beings here, the consciousness here actually originated from Lyra, which is home to the vast majority of humanoid type beings in this part of the galaxy, of the cosmos. And these beings in Lyra, then a group of them went to Vega, another star, beautiful star. Maybe you've seen it in the sky, holding on to the divine feminine codes, really looking within, receding many of these like Indian, the Vedic, the yogic traditions, many of the mystery schools. And then the Vegans, some of them actually then relocated to Sirius star system. So that is more of that galactic lineage of Sirius A and B. And Sirius A is known for its mystery schools, actually, and being the origination for ascended masters such as Jesus and Mother Mary. It's very high consciousness. This is a place in the cosmos where beings come to experience one of these mystery schools and evolve themselves, and then especially come to places like Earth that really need help given the way the cycles work for us at this moment in time where we are. And so Sirius A, beings connected to Sirius A, often are very committed to Earth, have had many lives here, really want to see the upliftment and the evolutionary progress of this planet and of humanity. So very dedicated souls, loyal too. I mean, this is, again, the dog star. What do we think of with dogs? Unconditionally loving, extremely loyal. These souls keep coming back to Earth, being a part of this age of Aquarius, being part of this consciousness, remembrance, and evolution to a higher way, a more loving way of being. Sirius B, very similar but different energy. It's a planet covered in water. It's a water planet, so it exists etherically and physically. It has beings such as this gorgeous mer woman pictured above, as well as the dolphins, the cetaceans, the whales, these beautiful sea dwellers, so many of them. Algae, it has all the plant life and the aquatic marine life, such richness, such diversity. And beings, originating here with soul connection, Sirius A and B. What do you think of when you think of the mermaids and the dolphins and the whales? Their song, their sounds, their clairaudience being, their strongest clairsense, their strongest psychic sense. And so this makes a lot of sense for Mayari, who is a Reiki master, sound healer, developing her own way of working and clearing and releasing energy and healing with the power of sound. And I'm seeing so clearly with this alignment, why you're guided to do that. It really is who you are in your soul. And it's just phenomenal to see that remembrance, because even before Sirius, like I was saying, Vega and Lyra, in Vega, they were working with the power of sound. Okay. And then bringing this to Sirius. So even that sound connection goes even deeper back. So really, this is very confirming of the work you're doing. Very, very beautiful. Okay, there are many, but here is another extraordinary feature of your chart. Extraordinary, okay? Your sun at 0 degrees and 52 minutes of the sign of Scorpio is conjunct the Shapley Attractor. Shapley Attractor, if you're thinking, what on earth is this thing? What? I've got some pictures. I have some illustrations. You'll see the one that is lower right here. This one shows the sun being the center of our solar system, so the smallest dot there. The galactic center being the center of our Milky Way galaxy, okay, much larger. The supergalactic center being the center around which our galaxy, amongst 30 other galaxies, is rotating. Okay, and now all of that area is being drawn into the great attractor, this cosmic anomaly that we don't even fully understand. Could be a series of black holes, could be something else, we're not sure. But the great attractor is the source of our entire local area called the Laniakea, Hawaiian word, supercluster. So it's the source of this massive supercluster, and the great attractor is pulling in our galaxy, all the other supergalactic center connected galaxies, just this huge supercluster coming right on in, because the great attractor was the source, and it's also then the destroyer, the creator destroyer. Then at an octave, a level above that, we have the Shapley attractor. Okay. And that is a massive gravitational force exponentially greater than the great attractor. And we know the great attractor is drawing in an entire supercluster, this massive area of space. And Shapley is grouping together the largest known concentration of galaxies in our universe. Okay, extremely powerful. It's influenced by the opposite force of the dipole repeller. Not sure if I'm saying that right, but the dipole repeller, it's like two magnets, but apparently Shapley is larger. I won't say that it's stronger, because chances are it's balanced, because natural laws, cosmic laws. So our galactic center, super galactic center, and the great attractor and everything that involves is all being pulled toward Shapley. And so above me, we see another diagram that lays things out. Yeah, we see our local group of galaxies, the Milky Way's galactic center, the super galactic center. So that's still like 30 plus galaxies in that local group. The great attractor pulling in our local group and other local groups. And then Shapley, just in its great massiveness, its great force, pulling in all of that and some. All right. So this is super powerful, super powerful. This can be aligned with anything, but aligned with the sun, just to give you an example of how influential, magnetic this can really be. Sun conjunct Shapley is found in the astrological charts of none other than Hillary Clinton and Bill Gates, which, think what you want about them, they are massively influential in our current day reality. So there is great potential here. With this, I'm seeing there is great potential to really take your work far and wide, because it's not just the sun, it's actually Mercury there conjunct Shapley as well. And that would be your mind, your communication, your voice. Harmonic Reiki, I highly encourage you, looking at your chart, think bigger than what you're even thinking right now, and then keep thinking bigger, because wow, the possibilities are infinite with this aspect. This is incredibly inspiring. And from a galactic perspective, what does this point to in terms of your soul? Is that you are very galactically connected and multidimensional, and it's very likely you have multiple other aspects of self all over the place, and even far beyond this galaxy that are alive and well and thriving. And perhaps you've already made contact with some of those parts, but you have the ability to be in conscious contact and collaboration with them, receiving insights, receiving downloads about, how to share your passion, how to really use this energy you're blessed with. So this is really, really inspiring, deeply inspiring. Really go for it and think big. Thank you so much for watching this little tiny preview of what these galactic astrology soul readings look at. The full readings go way, way more in depth and in detail, looking at the entire soul history and whatever is most relevant for your highest good. If anyone who's watching is interested in one of these readings, I am doing a 40% off with the code I am ready. And if that discount is still available, it will be there on my website. If you're thinking about getting one of these readings, I encourage you to take advantage of that discount while it's there before it's snapped up. I am so excited about these readings. I find them so rewarding and truly infinitely fascinating, looking into the soul records and looking into the stars and the astrology in this way. So it's been my pleasure being with you today. Thank you so much for watching. Aho, amen, namaste, and so it is. Mahalo.